he actually got paid. He got paid by YouTube for his content. So in 2021, I can't disclose his figures because he have not approved that with him. But you can see several hashtags there and several with just one comma there. But in 2021, he received a good amount of money for his content. In 2022, he's projected to do several figures, as you can see on the screen. So this is all money that's coming to him. Now this is cool. This is awesome. But we're going to spend 12 seconds here in really acknowledging that YouTube is that huge opportunity. However, if we scroll over here to the right-hand side, this is what's interesting to you. These are appointments. Our North Star moving forward is appointments, right? So there's 20 booked appointments per week. It translates to over 8 transactions per month. He's got a nationwide referral system. He's got a growing real estate team. So again, for those of you that are looking for the channel name, just go to Hola Franco on YouTube and you're going to find it. On the left-hand side, you see Hola Franco. You can go find his information right there. So he's somebody that was very diligent in his business, and always remember that this is the North Star for you when it comes to YouTube is generating business, generating leads. This is happening every single day. He does not have to prospect. He does not have to door knock. He does not have to cold call anybody. People are coming to him night and day. So we'll talk about why this actually works right now. When we're talking about YouTube, we need to understand several things. And as soon as we understand this, it's going to make a lot more sense. You have 2 billion monthly users on the platform. At this point, it's actually a little bit more than that. This means that YouTube has a huge platform, a huge audience that you can instantly tap into. To put that in perspective, that's twice the size of Instagram. Right now, a huge differentiator between YouTube and other platforms is that it's a one and done model. The moment that you complete that YouTube video, you go on to the next one. You're done with that one video and it's going to start working for you night and day. So as soon as you upload, you go on to the next one and continue to stack on your views. It's an absolutely free platform. As you can see at the middle graphic, it's a free platform. You don't have to pay to do this. I personally, don't tell YouTube, but I personally would pay to have this exposure for my personal channel. I've uploaded over 1,000 videos on YouTube at the moment. I would pay for that, right? Thankfully, I don't have to. Thankfully, I don't. But I would pay to have access to YouTube and because it was still, the ROI would be insane. But the fact that it's free, it's astronomical. It's just crazy. And this kind of really is right in line with the stats that Jerome highlighted earlier. Videos being consumed at a drastic rate. Over 80% of the content that's being consumed online right now, it's in video. So 80% of the content that's being consumed is video. So if you're not making video at the moment, then you are missing 80% of your audience. It's that drastic. And at the end of the day, YouTube is a solutions platform. There's 2 solutions that it answers for. If YouTube helps you if you're bored, so you can go to YouTube for entertainment, or YouTube helps you for education, meaning people go on the platform to be educated or entertained. So if you don't have anything else to do, or if you just want to listen to music, you want to watch a show that might be on YouTube, or some reruns from the NFL game that happened last night or whatever, you go over there and get entertained, right? Now, if you have a sink that's clogged up, or if you don't know much about a certain region and want to learn more about that region, so we know what kind of happened between Russia and Ukraine right now. So if you wanted to be more involved and educate yourself on what's happening there, you just go to YouTube and learn about what's happening. So there's that education. So this is why real estate, YouTube for real estate, or real estate for YouTube, however you want to look at it, is so powerful. That's why Franco is able to generate so much traffic and generate so much business from the platform. This is why this works. Now, it's cool, right? It's cool that someone else has had that success and you have that track record. So you have this isn't theory at the moment or any longer. Someone has gone out there and proved it several times over. But what we need to really recognize is what you're actually doing, what you're actually doing for your business. When you're creating a YouTube channel, you're creating an asset that you own. You're creating a YouTube channel, you're creating content, you're creating a library, a resource, an asset that you can control. Now, this is something that if you wanted to, you could sell a YouTube channel. If you wanted to, you could do a lot of different things with it, but it's an asset that you're building. You're turning viewers into clients, people that watch you, people that are engaging with you, people that comment, that hit the like button, that subscribe to your channel. Those are viewers that eventually turn into clients. So we'll talk about how to identify the type of content that you need to do in order to generate those leads, in order to generate those clients. But at the end of the day, what you're doing, really, what you have at the end of the day are deeper relationships with your future clients. Again, they're going to be viewers at some point, but at some point, they're also going to be clients. People are going to reach out to you when they're ready to buy or they're ready to sell. And what's super cool is as you're building your YouTube channel, your content is actually going to get used by your competition. So your peers are going to start using your content because you provided such a resource that even your peers, your people that are selling in your same neighborhood, are going to send your videos out there to their buyers or sellers because they haven't had the foresight to create content for themselves. And this happens over and over and over again. It's happened over and over again for myself personally, where we're, I know we have some guests here that not everybody here is part of EXP, which is awesome. Welcome. But I am part of EXP, and it's something that I still to this day, I would say every other week, I get a message from an agent from another brokerage sharing their video. Hey, I saw your video as I was going through the orientation or the onboarding at X, Y, and Z brokerage. And I wanted to ask you, hey, how do I do this Craigslist ad? Or hey, how do I do this Facebook ad? Or hey, how do I do this Instagram thing? The interface that you taught on 2 years ago is different. So you're gonna find that your competition is gonna do the same thing. So even in your same market, they're going to share your content with their clients, which is super cool. And then we briefly touched on it, but you have some additional income such as AdSense, which is what you saw with Franco's channel. Affiliates means you get a portion of the sales that are generated when somebody clicks on your links, and sponsorships and all this other type of stuff. So I'm not going to harp too much on additional income because that's not where 99% of you are going to find yourselves in, which is perfectly fine. Our North Star is generating business. I'm going to keep coming back to that time and time again because I don't want to lose the plot. Generating business, getting buyers, getting sellers, that's why you're on YouTube. The additional income, that's great. But again, that's not why you're doing this. This is a business. This platform will help you increase your business, and that's how we're looking at it. All right, so let's talk about equipment, because one of the things that comes up is, well, Jaime, I don't have $5,000 to spend on a camera. Great, because you don't need $5,000 to spend on a camera. You have a mighty powerful camera in your pocket right now, and that is your phone. Regardless of phone that you have, as long as it's a smartphone, just about, the camera's gonna be perfect. Camera's going to be just fine. So start with the phone that you have. Now, as we start making videos, so as we use our phone and are recording our content, as we get better, as we start getting into the groove of what editing looks like, of what uploading a video to YouTube looks like, as we start getting into that groove, then there are some improvements that you can make. Your first improvement that you're going to make, the first investment that you're going to make that's going to have the highest return on investment, the highest ROI, is going to be your audio. Your audio is extremely important. Although YouTube is a visual platform, if your audio is off, if your audio just sounds like that, then you're going to lose the audience very, very quickly. So that's something we need to recognize. So the audio is going to be something you're going to look to improve first, and you can do several different styles of audio or several different audio improvements, such as doing a lapel mic. So just type in Amazon lapel mic, and a bunch of options will come your way. The lapel mic's $25. You're gonna get a very, very good mic for 25 bucks that just clips onto your shirt, and you can have a much better enhanced audio, right? So the next step up, so again, we're talking about the equipment and the improvements that you can make on your equipment as you get into the YouTube flow. The next investment that you're gonna make is lighting. Lighting makes a ton of difference, where you don't need to focus on your lighting immediately, because you can just sit in front of a windowsill and record your first video without any problem, just sitting in front of the windowsill and get that natural light. However, what happens when you need to record at night? Well, you don't have that natural light. So you want to be able to replicate your setting instantly, and lighting will allow you to do that regardless of the time of the day. You could be recording in the middle of the night and nobody's going to know, right? So you have that lighting. Lighting won't take you that much in terms of capital investment. Could be 30 to 50 bucks and you've got some really good consistent lighting. Now, here I would suggest that you go explore YouTube and see what type of lighting options there are, because there's ring lights, there's soft boxes, there's all types of lighting that can improve your video quality. But that would be that next improvement. And then your last improvement is the actual video itself, the camera. This is when we start talking about a bit more of an investment on a camera. Now, note that you don't have to do this. Quick reminder, you can get away with doing your phone or using your phone 100% of the time. If you're looking for that next edge, if you're looking for that improvement, if you're looking for that next level, then yeah, go to that audio, go to your lighting, and then lastly, go to your video. Video cameras range all across the spectrum. They range very, very heavily. You can get a very decent, high quality camera for $600 to $800, and that we're talking about professional grade. Now, if you want Cat Daddy versions, if you want like super incredibly amazing, crystal clear everything, yeah, then we are talking into multiple thousands, right? So the camera that I have at the moment is the Sony, what is it, A7 III or whatever it's called. I'm not that versed on video, on camera equipment, nor do I need to be, which is good because we've got YouTube University to help us out. But this camera is about $5,000. You don't need to start here. You don't ever need to get here. It's just something that I made an investment in my business, and it's something that I continue to use every single day. But again, this is specific to the equipment, because that question always comes up. Well, what equipment do I need? It's very inexpensive. You've got your phone, that's all you need. But as you're looking to make improvements, this is the roadmap that you would take. Go to audio, go to lighting, go to video, and you're going to be a really good creator. All right, so questions in the chat, please feel free to drop them down below, because we're moving very quickly now, because we're going to look at how to actually make videos. So we have the YouTube workflow. One of the big limitations that we put on ourselves, and I say that very purposefully, I say limitations because one of the limitations that we put ourselves is, I don't have time. Well, you're right, because you haven't prioritized it, right? You haven't prioritized video in your business. I mean, you find the time to eat, you find the time to sleep, you find the time to pick up the kids, because I mean, that's priority. If you prioritize video, aka YouTube, in your business, you're going to have time. However, here's the thing. The speed at which you make a video is going to be drastically different than mine and any other creators. So we need to make continual improvements in our video making process. So this workflow that you're looking on the screen right now, if you read it from left to right, brainstorm, optimize, script, record, edit, and distribute. If you use this workflow, I can guarantee you that you're going to be able to reduce the amount of time that you spend recording by 10x, by 20x, by 30x. It's going to be so much faster if you do it this way. So you're brainstorming, you're optimized, you're scripting, recording, editing, and distributing. And we'll break open each one of these here momentarily so you see what it looks like. But the important thing here is to recognize that every single phase of your video making workflow needs to be treated as a phase, as a standalone, as its own little bucket, as its own little world. So as we go from left to right, again, BOSRED, so brainstorm, optimize, script, record, edit, and distribute. This is the same process that the Hollywood videos make, the Hollywood video producers use, the independent video creators make, every YouTuber out there. This is the exact workflow that is being used right now, except it may not be called the YouTube workflow. But it's the exact same thing. We'll walk through it right now. So let's talk about brainstorming. Brainstorming is the phase in which you are just being creative. What videos do I need to make? Do I need to make videos on, do I need to make house tour videos? Do I need to make videos that explain the home buying process, the home selling process? Do I need to make videos that will help my buyers understand what the Ukraine and Russia thing is going to do for the real estate market? If you have that answer, please tell me, because I don't know what it'll do. But if you're looking for video ideas, this is what's happening in the brainstorming phase. So you're just going to take 10 to 15 minutes and just brainstorm. I want to make this video, that video, this other video, and whatever. So just focus on brainstorming for 10 to 15 minutes. And you're going to write all those ideas down. Right? So here, this is going to be the funnest part. This is going to be the funnest phase, because then it gets a little bit harder as we go. But this is going to be a phase where you're going to come up with 20 different ideas, 20 different videos that you want to make, right? So after you go from brainstorming, after you spend those 10, 15 minutes coming up with 20 ideas, we're going to go over to the optimize stage. At the optimize stage / phase, this is where bad ideas go to die. So brainstorm, there's no limitation. It's just, you're just coming up with ideas. So don't worry about them being good or bad. That's not the phase that you're in. You're just brainstorming. When you move over to optimizing, this is where bad ideas go to die. And it's so important that we get optimized right that I'm actually not going to cover it in this slide. I'm going to cover it in the next one, and we'll really break that open. But just understand at the optimized stage, this is where the bad idea filter comes into play. So this is where the videos that have no business being made by you, stop. This is where you hit the trash button. And only the good ones, quote unquote good ones, and I'll show you how to identify the good ones, the ones that actually bring you business. I'll show you that on the following slide. This is where, that's why this particular phase is so important, because you can spend your time making a video. You can spend 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours making a video that you had no business making. And I'll show you what qualifies as a good video to make or a approved video to make. Once you've gone through that filter though, you're going to go to scripting. You've already brainstormed. You thought, hey, I want to talk about what the differences are between the option period or the option money and the earnest money. That's the video that you thought about making at the brainstorm phase. The optimized phase, you said, you know what? That's a really good idea. No one's made this video before, so I'm going to make it. Approved. Scripting, that's where you map out your thoughts. That's where you put structure to what your video is going to be. So you can write everything out word by word if you want, or you can just provide a few keywords, a bit of a structure for you, so then you can record the video. So here in the scripting stage, again, you can write everything down, or you can just have bullet points if you want, but this is going to provide structure for you. And then you're going to go to actually record. So after we move from the scripting, we're going to go to record. This is where we are standing in front of our camera or sitting in front of our camera, and we're delivering the message. However, whatever we put on that scripting phase, this is where we read it out loud, word by word, or we just take some keywords and start recording. This is so important. Let me backtrack. Scripting is so important because that is actually what prevents you from giving up too early. Because one of the things that's going to happen, especially if you were alarmed of all the statistics that we just talked about, is so far behind. I'm going to go record a video, and you immediately jump in front of your camera and try to record a video, and you have a lot of ums, oh, and then this thing, I meant to say this. Oh, and then also don't forget that during the option, you have to do that. That level of recording, that video making, if you go straight to recording without ever brainstorming, optimized scripting, and go straight to record, that's where the frustration happens. That's when you quit because you get down on yourself. Oh, I'm just not confident on camera. Oh, I mean, it's just so hard. I don't have time. It took me 3 hours to record this because I kept forgetting. Well, of course you kept forgetting because you didn't plan it out to begin with. Right? So if you go through this workflow as it's laid out, you're going to have a different aura about yourself when you go to record. You're going to have a different experience because you're going to have that confidence now because you have thought it through, because you have put structure to your video. That's why it's important that you follow this workflow. This exact same workflow I used to make a daily video on YouTube for over 2 years. I repeat that again. For over 2 years, I made a daily YouTube video. Some of those videos were 5 minutes in length. Some of those videos were over 30 minutes in length. Right? And this is verifiable. You can go over to my YouTube channel, Jaime Resendez on YouTube, and you're going to see a lot of videos because I took this seriously as a business. Right? So after you record your video, you're going to move on to the fifth phase, which is editing. This is where you start cropping out the uhs. You cut out the uhs. You cut out the curse words. You cut out the times that you screwed up. You cut out the X, Y, and Z. This is where you correct your mistakes and enhance your video. You start putting B-roll, which B-roll is basically either a video or an image that sits in front of the camera as your voice is speaking over it, right? So it's almost like a narrator. Editing is something that you can absolutely learn to do yourself if you so want. There's plenty of videos on that, on how to do that on YouTube. A creator that I always love to shout out because he's just an amazing creator for one, but also an amazing friend, Trevor Jones. If you type in Trevor Jones creator on YouTube, he'll teach you everything about lighting, everything about cameras, everything about editing, everything about the video making process, because he was a former Hollywood editor. So he'll teach you this. This is something that you don't have to memorize or try to figure out yourself. There are a lot of resources out there for you. And if you don't have the skill set and don't care to have that skill set, there's nothing wrong with that. You can outsource that. You can outsource that to somebody that will edit this for you. So it's something that, in fact, we ended up opening a done for you YouTube service for our agents here internally and also for the public, to where we do the editing for the agents and also we upload them to YouTube and do the distribution. As you see the final phase here on the distribution side, we upload the videos to YouTube and optimize them so we have the correct thumbnail, we have the correct title, we have the correct SEO in the description and everything else and all that fun stuff. So that's that final phase. The distribution is really the celebration. This is where your end product goes. After you've edited the video and you like it and you're ready to go, you upload it to YouTube, which is that distribution. Now here's what's super cool. I know this says the YouTube workflow, but this video that you're creating can go on LinkedIn, can go on Facebook, can go on Instagram, can go basically anywhere, right? So this video that you created specifically for YouTube is something that you're specifically focused on for YouTube. At the end of the day, though, it doesn't only need to live on YouTube. And yes, that happens to be the primary goal, but you can repurpose that video in other platforms, right? So brainstorm, optimize, script, record, edit, and distribute. And as Jerome mentioned, video is so versatile. It absolutely is. All right, so let's look at that important slide that we kept talking about or alluding to here a couple of minutes ago, optimizing. At the optimize phase, remember, this is the second phase. There's 6 phases altogether. There's brainstorm, optimize, script, record, edit, and distribute. This is that second phase where bad ideas go to die. And here's why this filter is so important and what you're doing in this phase, how this even becomes a filter for your bad ideas or good ideas. You're looking for traffic. When you make, let's just take that same example that we've been working with, what's the difference between an option period, option money and earnest money? Well, you're going to start searching around and identifying, is there traffic? Is there demand for this? So you can go to Google and type that in and see how many searches are happening. You can go to YouTube as well and see, type that in, difference between option money and earnest money, and see how many videos are being made from that, see how many views are being made on that topic. You can also use extensions like keywords everywhere, which is a Chrome extension that will give you the search volume per month if somebody is actually searching for this type of information. There's a lot of tools that will give you the demand, the traffic. You can go to Google Trends and it'll tell you again where that is if the search volume, I'm sorry, that is being run through Google. So I can guarantee you right now, a lot of people are typing in, where is Ukraine? because of recent events. So that'll help you identify what is in demand, is there traffic to this particular topic that I want to cover. Assuming that there is traffic, assuming somebody cares about the video that you're planning to make, then you're going to start thinking through your thumbnail. Your thumbnail, look at it as a billboard. You're all driving through every interstate highway or any cross street out there, and you see a billboard. And some of them you just completely drive by without ever noticing them. But the moment that they change their billboard to something that's catchy, you soon realize, oh wow, I didn't even realize that there was a billboard there, because of the messaging, because of a different billboard and style and design that caught your attention. Same thing on YouTube, except think of what billboards are to roads. Think of those as thumbnails for your videos. So it's your advertisement to catch somebody's attention so they can pause long enough while they're scrolling on YouTube to see what it is that this thumbnail is saying to them, and also what's this video about. So the thumbnail helps establish the need. Like, is there even a need for me to watch this video? I know I was just scrolling through YouTube and all of a sudden this option versus earnest money thumbnail came up. Oh, well, I've thought about buying a house. I've heard option money quite a bit. Well, I might want to click on this video, right? So once somebody stops and analyzes the thumbnail, then they're going to go to the title, which is basically the value. That's the payoff. So if you can account for the traffic, meaning is there demand, if you can account for the thumbnail, what it should look like, and then have the appropriate title, if you can make these three things work for you, then you move on to the next stage. Meaning, that there's going to be enough audience there. You can visualize a thumbnail that will draw people's attention, and you also know how to title it that will help you in rankings and search rankings, and also help convey the message of the video that you've created. Then you go on to make that video. So that's where this stage is so important. You're brainstorming and then you're optimizing, which is what we're talking about right now. Assuming that your video meets all this criteria, that that there's going to be traffic, there's what the thumbnail is going to look like, and what the title is going to be, then it goes on to scripting, then it goes on to record, then it goes on to edit, and then it goes on to distribute, which is uploading to YouTube. Is that making sense? I want to make sure that we hit the notes that we need to. But one of the biggest value adds of you being here is understanding a different way of doing business, but also something I wanted to gift you was the gift of implementation. Because oftentimes we learn, but fail to implement. So this all works if there's a video on your YouTube channel. If you take this information and you spend the last 45 minutes and just write a bunch of notes and plan nothing, and you plan to do nothing with these, then you're wasting your time. And I know we got into a different tenor, right? I know it sounds a bit of a just different messaging, right? So I'm not trying to be the rah guy, but I'm also not trying to be the pessimist. I'm just trying to give you the facts. Take all this information and don't implement in your business, then you're not going to see any movement, right? So as we look at implementation, we talked about the equipment needed. We talked about the workflow that you would go through. We talked about how to identify what good videos are. So when we go through the trouble of spending 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours to make a video, we know that there's going to be a payoff, aka leads at the end of the day, if we do this correctly. So now the question that always comes up is, well, which videos do I need to make? We all want that easy button, myself included. So here are the videos that you can make. To get started, answer the most asked question that you get. So think back to your last week, to your last month, to your last year, to your last career, whatever. Think back and really, really think, what is the most asked question that I've gotten? Is it how to buy a house? Is it how to sell a house? Is it what's probate? Is it what's short sale? Is it how's the real estate market doing? Is it why are you in real estate? Whatever the case may be, whatever is the most asked question that you've gotten, identify that question and make a video around it. Why? Well, chances are if it's the most asked question, you have an answer that you can recite in your sleep. Chances are that you've answered it many, many times. So with you answering that question over and over and over again, you have a different confidence level. So you're not going to freeze up in front of the camera because you answer this so frequently. Also, it serves as a great way to save some time, right? So it serves as a great way to save and preserve your time. Let's just say you get asked, how to buy a house as an example. Maybe that's the most asked question that you have. You can cover the keynotes, you can cover the high notes, if you will, and just explain what the process is. But after you're through explaining steps A to Z, especially if you're working with first-time home buyers, and I know some of you are going to start nodding here in a little bit. Well, we know that we're going to probably say the same thing over and over again, probably 20 times with first-time home buyers. We're going to teach them the entire thing over and over again. Well, how much more time would you gain back if you explain the process A to Z with your first-time home buyers once and then sent them the video of you explaining it on video? Because the next time that they have that question, they can now have a video to watch. Right, so that's why we're starting with this video. So answer your most asked question first. You're gonna build that video muscle very quickly, and you're also gonna be able to buy your time back. Now, another type of video that does incredibly well, especially starting out, is the wish I had known style video. So the wish I had known this before I got into real estate. Wish I had known this before I sold my house. Wish I had known this before the interest rates went up. Wish I had known this before X, Y, and Z. Right, those videos are so cool. They're really, really good. And we don't have time to get into the psychology of why these style videos work so well. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. But we can go to the next one. Everything about Dallas, everything about Fort Worth, everything about Texas, everything you need to know about moving, everything you need to know about home buying, everything you need to know about home selling, everything you need to know about the real estate market today. Right, so everything about videos are so cool. Top neighborhoods in Arlington, top neighborhoods in Tarrant County, top neighborhoods in Texas, top neighborhoods in X, Y, and Z. This is where you take the worldly platform, which is YouTube. YouTube goes out to the entire world, and you make it local to where you live. So we have and I'll probably highlight her. I might need to ask you to remind me, Jerome, to help to change let me rephrase that, to highlight another creator that we're working with locally here in Dallas-Fort Worth that has been doing these top neighborhoods here in Dallas-Fort Worth and has grown dramatically in the matter of 2 months. So in 2 months, she has about 25,000 views, has leads for days, brand new agent, brand new to video, brand new to everything. She's had some tremendous results with that. And then the cost of living in Texas, cost of living in Tarrant County, cost of living in Dallas County, cost of living in Arlington. These are videos that are going to help you get views, so get that exposure, and are also going to help you get to that North Star that I promised we were going to stick to from the beginning of our presentation to right now, which is getting leads. That is our North Star. Affiliate money is awesome. YouTube AdSense is awesome. Sponsorship money is awesome. Getting in on the ground floor of X, Y, and Z opportunity is fantastic. Those are all benefits that are going to come with YouTube, but I don't care about those. I care about you generating business today. That's what we were looking to honor. Hopefully that's what we did today. So if you do me a quick favor and go over to Instagram and hit a follow, I provide a lot of helpful tips every single day that might help you in your real estate journey, especially on YouTube. Jerome.
Yes. Thank you, Jaime. Jaime, what do you think about sending out the slides to people as a PDF?
Absolutely. That's
Okay,
fine.
so here's how you get the slides. Anybody that's interested in Jaime's presentation, what I want you to do is, Jaime, can you put your email address in the chat? I
Yeah.
want you to send over Jaime some feedback on the presentation, and once you do that, we'll make sure you get a copy of the slides.
Hey,
Jaime,
Jerome.
yes, who's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. One of the slides, the image got cut off, and you had mentioned you had like a workbook you provided to the audience
Who,
here.
me?
Yeah, I missed that part. I
Just
think that cut off.
message me on Workplace, and we'll take care of it.
Perfect.
So if you want this slide presentation from Jaime, send him an email, send feedback on this presentation, and we'll get that over to you. Jaime, I have so you mentioned Trevor, and it's been a while since Trevor has been here, so I have asked of you. Can you see if Trevor would be interested in coming to teach us about video editing? And I'll also message this to you as well. But the 3 dates that I have are March 3rd, 10th, and 31st. What do you think about that?
I'll text him.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Who has questions for Jaime? There were a lot of questions in the chat. You're gonna have to speak up because we got like a few minutes left, and it can be hard to filter through those comments
Do you have
sometimes.
calendar connected to YouTube channel? I have so with all of our accounts, they're different, but the easiest thing that you can do is go to calendly.com and create a calendar that's connected via a link. You just drop that link in your YouTube description, the video description, and the comment. That's the quickest thing that you can do. There's some pretty neat strategies, a little ninja hacks that you can do through KV Core. We don't have time to get into that. Just type in KV Core YouTube leads. I think my video will show up there. But to answer your question, that's how we connect the calendar to YouTube. How do you get views on tour page? I don't know what that means.
Onto your page, Julie? I think. I thought they meant your.
Oh, how do you get people to view your page?
Who's that? Have them speak up.
Julie. No, so essentially what I guess what the question is, how do you get people to view your videos? You go through the filter. This is probably before we talked about the optimize stage. You make sure that there's at least some demand for it. Get that attractive thumbnail going, and then get a compelling title. So you create that intrigue and curiosity. So that's how you can ensure that you're going to get views. You can't force somebody to be interested in something they're not interested in. It just doesn't work that way.
Can I weigh in?
Sure.
I made great presentation as always. I have found that, like it or not, you have to work for the algorithm and get to like you. If Google likes you and sees that you're getting engagement on your videos, that you're constantly putting up videos, the algorithm will show it to more people. And the more, whether it's Facebook, Instagram algorithm, whether it's Google algorithm, whether it's LinkedIn algorithm, you have to get the algorithm to like you, and that's also part of the picture. If you do what the intricacies of the algorithm like, it helps you get more views.
I'm gonna set it better myself. Do you recommend a video editor to save time? 100%. So there's 2 things that you shouldn't do. I'm gonna get on the rant. Jerome, is that okay?
Yes, that's okay.
So you're real estate professionals. I'm not asking you to be a professional video editor or a designer. At the end of the day, there's certain revenue generating activities that you can do, which is generating leads, following up, going on appointments, and doing the negotiations, basically getting under contract. None of them involve you being a professional video editor. Now, there's some things that you there's some, I understand that there's capital restrictions, the budget may not be there, but if you value your time and have the confidence that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is generating business and focused on revenue generating activities, then you shouldn't be editing yourself. Now, one of the questions that comes up is, well, how much does it cost to get an editor? If you are doing what I call talking head videos, or what's called talking head videos, where you're speaking directly into the camera and have relatively clean cuts, if you will, meaning there's not that much intricacies to it, you can get videos edited for $40, $50, $60, $80, $100 per video. It sounds like a lot. Don't mishear me. It sounds like a lot. I didn't start off this way. I wish I had. I would have gone a lot further, a lot faster, had I outsourced my video editing. But right now, at this point in time, I want to value your time for you. You may not see it right now, but once you start going and getting the reps in on YouTube, you have no business spending 3 hours editing your videos, because then it's going to take a lot more time for you to do it yourself, and it's going to actually be worse. Unless you're a Trevor Jones out there that was a former Hollywood editor, then yeah, maybe you should edit your own videos. But since this is a business and it's a transactional business, you're using YouTube as a tool, as a platform to generate you business, I strongly suggest that you hire that out. Right? So that's something. Same thing goes with design. Now, Jerome always gets on to me because I don't pitch this enough, but I do have a done for you service myself, where my team will actually do the editing for you. We'll set up your thumbnail and we'll actually manage your YouTube channel. If you want to have that conversation, then just email me. You have that email down right there, jaime@jaimeandersons.com. This is not for that, to pitch that service. This is just an opportunity for you to go a lot faster. You can go out and get your own editor. You can go out there and get your own designer. You can go out there and figure this out yourself. You're more than welcome to do that. But a lot of you want the easy buttons to get to where not where I'm at per se, but where a lot of the results that you're seeing, these are individuals that have leveraged either my education from watching my YouTube channels, or are working with me personally from a consulting standpoint, or are using my done for you services. I'm not speaking from theory, I'm speaking from practice. What content would you do if you were starting out and don't have any real estate content to use? Melissa, or how do you connect random content to real estate? Melissa, you went through real estate school, right? So you have a lot more information. You have a lot of real estate content that needs to be used right now. You know what a contract is. Talk about that. You know what it takes to buy a house. Talk about that. You know what it takes to sell a house. Talk about that. You might not have done it yourself. That's okay. Everyone started there. Well, you have a lot more information. You know a lot more things that general public doesn't.
And
When
I
I
make
go ahead.
and go back to that slide and just hover on that slide where you had implement, because those were get 5 topics as well.
Yeah. Good call. Good call back. Is it better to stand or sit while doing videos? Doesn't matter. However you want to deliver the information is the right answer there. Unless you have lower back issues, and you might want to go get a chiropractor and then figure out if you want to stand or sit. Jaime, what do you think of CapCut versus, well, you're speaking way beyond my skill set, Tony. I don't know either of those.
They are video editors, and they just don't matter. The important thing is to get the video done. Like, it all works. Whatever you use, the best editor, the best tool, the best CRM is the one that you use. So just pick one and stick to it.
Yeah. Where can you find a good editor? You can go on Fiverr. You can go to, so Fiverr is a good source. Onlinejobs.ph is the one that you can use. You can go to Upwork. Those are the ones that you can use. So those are, you can source them yourselves.
Yeah, here on editors, I want to so Fiverr, I love those sites. Fiverr, Upwork, I love those sites. But one of the things about those sites is that you got to do a lot of back and forth. And Jaime just offered a resource. He's like, look, if you want some editing, reach out to me. So if you're looking for an editor and you're serious, just reach out to Jaime. They already figured out the process. You'll save yourself a ton of time and a ton of frustration. So you got a few options. I would probably go with Jaime, and he has a like high powered YouTube channel. You should check out his YouTube channel too. He's got a lot of stuff there. He doesn't like Jaime is a little bit modest about promoting what he does, but he does excellent work. So I like to promote what he does. So check out his YouTube. He's got a lot of good stuff, and check out. He said all you got to do is email him if you're considering an editor. He already figured out that process of this is what I want, this is what I want, and it's strictly real estate professionals. They already figured that out. So have that conversation.
Thank you for that. Yeah, and I'll go ahead and speak to pricing here a little bit because I know, and I want y'all to see it. I want y'all to go and price shop it. And Jerome, I think you're going to appreciate this because I see the amount of work that you put on the channel, your channel. What we charge is $200 a month for 4 videos, edited videos that are edited for you. That includes the thumbnail, that includes the SEO research, search engine optimized research, the title and description. We connect to your YouTube channel and we upload it for you. The only thing that you have to do is 2 things. 1, record the video, and then 2, review the product. The rest of the stuff gets taken over by my team.
And if you go to Fiverr, how much would it be like per project? Like probably $50 or so?
Probably per video, an editor is going to charge you $65. If they don't have any relationship with you, they'll probably charge you $65 to $85 because for them, it's a one-off. They don't know your commitment to it. So if you can get in with a good editor that will do it in terms of a long-term engagement, they might drop it down to maybe 50, maybe 55 per video, but we're just talking about editing. We're not talking about a thumbnail. We're not talking, certainly not uploading it for you. I think Jerome can vouch for this. This doesn't exist out there.
I can do that. I upload my own. I made my own thumbnail in Canva, so it only takes me a couple minutes because I just changed 1 box. But I almost write a blog when I upload it for SEO, and then I have to come up with a great headline, and that has nothing to do with editing, and then I have to go to the closed captions, which suck, and so you have to change that. I'm telling you that I would get it down to $5 an hour because it takes me forever if he's doing $50 for 4. I can't tell you what a bargain that is.
I appreciate that. Well, I had my 2 o'clock cancel on me, Jerome. Okay, well, he's...
So good editor, Jaime, what places to outsource? Cindy, I would just, honestly, I would stop trying to worry about that stuff, and I would probably have a conversation with Jaime. They have already figured a lot of that stuff out, so I would just have that conversation instead of trying to figure it out myself. Yeah, I don't see any other questions, Jaime. You have any final comments?
Done is better than perfect, and that's one, but I always give that one. So let me give you another one. Dig into your analytics. I know this, if you're new to YouTube, that's okay. That's awesome. That's why you're here, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. We're here every Thursday, so make sure that you come back, and you get different disciplines. So Beth Ellen and Jerome do a fantastic job of putting on these opportunities for y'all to learn in a very safe environment. So kudos to them, and also winning the award for Instructors of the Year. When it comes to YouTube though, and you start getting some reps in, dig into your analytics. For those of you that already know a little bit of YouTube, and you might be ignoring analytics, this would be your call to action. Go to the analytics and start looking at your data. See what videos made more views, got more views. See what thumbnails, remember thumbnails are those billboards. See what thumbnails got a higher click-through rate, meaning when they got shown up on somebody's YouTube account, did they click on it, right? So go and look at these metrics that are readily available to you that you can instantly make decisions from. This is in theory. You see the numbers, black and white. My click-through rate on this thumbnail is 5%. When I split tested it with this other thumbnail, it was 8%. Okay, well, let's leave the one that's on 8%, right? So this is an amazing tool. Again, analytics is what you're going to look at. And if you don't have any data, we're going to have to revert back to the original. Done is better than perfect. Put some videos out there. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. So just make that a habit.
Thank you, Jaime.
How long do you recommend the videos last? As long as it's needed to convey the point that you want to convey. And I know it sounds like a cop-out answer because it is, but here's the thing. Let's go back to the analytics. YouTube will tell you how long people stay on your videos. If you're making 20-minute videos and you notice that people don't stay on there even 30 seconds, you've got a lot of issues on your hands. That is telling you maybe the thumbnail is not what I think. It's not saying what I think it's saying. Maybe the title is not conveying the value that I'm providing in these videos. So when people click on it, they bounce. So let's not make 20-minute videos when only a fraction of the videos even being watched. So let's scale it back. Let's make a 5-minute video. And then when you're making 5-minute videos and you're noticing that, hey, people are really staying a long time, over 50% retention rate, which is high, which is really where you want to be, over 50% retention rate, you have a good video on your hands. So then you can start focusing on, okay, well, let's make longer videos now, because I kind of rushed this video and I condensed so much information in my comment section saying, hey, you didn't cover this. Hey, this part was missing. Hey, I had hoped you'd cover this. Well, as you see the retention rate that you had on your video with over 50% staying on that video, that's the opportunity for you to make it longer, right? So just use data, but I know the answer. I know I still haven't answered your question directly, so I'll just give you an answer that I give to everyone. Start with 5 minutes. Make your videos 5 minutes. And then start looking at your analytics. If you're noticing that less than 30% make it to the end, with that, everyone has to start somewhere and get better. So we need to make the videos a little bit shorter so we can get better at our craft.
Thanks, Jaime. Yeah, the reason I was asking was because, you know, for YouTube analytics, like the algorithm to work well, I had seen that, okay, 10 minutes is usually the optimal time with like one commercial, or, you know, something less than 10 won't work as well for the algorithm. So that's why I was like really wondering if like the time length of the video really mattered to improve like the search engine optimization.
No, it's more about what's being searched. You can have, you'll get more watch time, sure. I have, like, if you go to Franco's channel should not be working that well. I'll just be honest with you. His channel should not be working that well because he's got 20-minute, 30, 40-minute videos on there. But it is, right? But then I have other videos, I have other YouTubers that don't make videos past 3 minutes and they're crushing it. So however long it takes you to convey the point is really the answer, but 5 minutes, start there, make it longer if needed, but continue to improve your storytelling.
Thank you, Jaime. Really appreciate you. So of the 28 that are still here, again, if you want the slide presentation from Jaime, his email address is in the chat. Email him some feedback and we'll get that presentation over to you. Other than that, Jaime, thank you so much for doing this. This was a great session as always.
I appreciate you, Jerome. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
See y'all soon. Bye.